And I want to speak on a few current event topics as well as a few updates. So here we go. Well, the first thing I want to mention is I know y'all heard of the story of the woman on fire in the subway. And if you didn't know, somewhere in New York City, I guess a woman was set on fire. And from the looks of it, while she's burning, ain't nobody offering aid. It doesn't appear nobody is moving with a sense of urgency. They just walking calmly looking at her. As well as the woman, she's not moving, jumping around. I didn't hear any screaming for help. So that got a lot of people scratching their head, as well as me, because if I'm not mistaken, fire burns. It burns like hell. And she didn't move at all. I don't know if she was already deceased, but she was just standing there. It was almost as if she had on like some type of fireproof suit or covering, because she was just like calmly just standing up holding on. I don't know if again she was already gone out of there. I mean, it had to be, because again, fire is hot, so you gonna move, you gonna scream. You ain't about to just stand there. Most definitely. So I'm not really sure. And of course they caught a person, a suspect in this, but I'm not exactly sure at this point what to make of that, y'all. But that's definitely odd, and I would like to know more about, was she alive at that point from the beginning to the end. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. That is pretty weird. So now we got a Jay-Z and a Diddy update. Well, I made a video regarding the new charge or alleged charge against Jay-Z and Diddy from a woman saying that she was 13 when it happened. Well, apparently, according to reports, the judge in the case, I guess, agreed to continue the case with her identity still remaining anonymous up to this point. Now, what do I gotta say about that? Really, y'all, it's really not much to make of it. It's really no cause for press, no cause for alarm, because it's still in a preliminary point of the case. Now, eventually, once it gets further along, she's gonna have to by right. So, and I'm pretty sure at that point it's probably gonna burn off or fizzle off. But let's see how far she's willing to go. And keep in mind, a lot of pivotal facts she presumed in her case remains untrue. She alleged her father picked her up right after. The father doesn't recall. She also alleged she met a star out there at the alleged party. This star was like, no, I wasn't even in town. So there's plenty of holes in her case, but again, y'all, this is nothing. This is nothing. So, oh yeah, and here's another update I've been meaning to speak on. Lil Durk, he done got hit with another hit for hire charge. So, and as you know, Durk was already in hot water from a lot of whole conspiracy for red rum and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I made a video about him getting hit with two new add-on charges or miscellaneous charges. And I mentioned that in my opinion, that was the least of his worries. The primary charge was still his worry. And it appears he got hit with the same type of charge, another primary charge. So he's in deeper hot water now, man. So, man, it's really not looking good for Durk at all. And I wasn't a follower of Durk. Of course, I heard of him, but it's an age difference for me, y'all. But of course, he got some tracks that I like, and he was caught up in that, that Chicago gang madness. I'ma put it, and unfortunately, it ain't looking good for him. But yeah, you really gotta be cautious of how you moving out here, as well as what you're doing. That's all I'ma say. So now, I guess we'll do another Fat Joe update. Now, as you may know, Fat Joe is in a whole lot of hot water. And I want to reiterate a few points on that, as well as touch on some other things, just so a lot of things don't get misconstrued. So here it go. Now, I'm not speaking on the whole hip hop thing. That's pretty much over with. That's settled. It's not much to talk about there. So I'm gonna speak a little bit about, I guess, more or less his FBA statement, and then just Fat Joe as a whole. Now again, I don't necessarily, now this is as an artist, I wasn't no Fat Joe fan, but as I mentioned, he do got some tracks over the years, the whole Terror Squad that I slap or whatever, but I didn't really too much, I didn't love him or hate him. I'm gonna say it like that, as far as his MCing. Now, of course, over the years, as we know, he's been getting a lot of flack. They say he turned his back on Big Pun and Big Pun fam, and a few other Terror Squad members got something to say about them. And usually that would be nothing, hey, that's between them. But again, a lot of things is adding up. So let me speak on it. Now, see, this is the thing about Fat Joe. He kind of remind me, because now he got the bag now. It's kind of like a person, say if they was short their whole life. I don't know, 5'5", and one day they woke up 6'7". And that very same day, they would walk around talking bad about short people. Oh, look at these short ass people. Look at these short ass cats. Look at all. He just kind of remind me of one of them people. So now that he got the bag now, everybody is broke. Everybody is a broke ass ninja. Because now that I thought about it, I spoke on a video regarding Mike Tyson in his fight about Jake Paul. And Fat Joe was one of the main ones talking about Mike need money. Mike broke. So it's already been a pattern with him. Again, now he up now. Or up. Everybody is broke. Pretty much. So that's a character thing, And from the way it looks at it, all he care about is himself. And again, I don't really care about personally and how he treat people. But again, there is a pattern, y'all. And now on to this whole FBA thing. Well, let me tell y'all a quick little story. Y'all take this story as y'all may. But I remember I was in 5th grade, and I grew up in Oakland. And I went to a lot of elementary schools in Oakland. Now, one of the elementary schools I went to, and I was about, 4th grade. And this elementary school just happened to be, I believe, one of the first bilingual elementary schools in Oakland. Now, I could be wrong about that. But anyway, so I'm in class, and I was talking to one of my classmates, and this happened to be a little girl. Now, we both kids, 4th, 5th grade. We just talking, kid talk, and she was from Nicaragua, and she was just explaining to me, like, not really where she from, but just kind of like, like I'm Spanish, Hispanic, and, like you got Mexican, you got this, you got that, and I'm like, oh, you like Puerto Rican, and the look on her face, y'all, let me know, she was like, dawg, like, Puerto Rican is like y'all, like black, and I knew what she meant, and the look on her face, and it wasn't like in a bad way, but it was a kid way, you just knew, and I knew already at that age, just from my personal observation of Puerto Ricans. So again, take that story as y'all may. But Now, let's about this whole FBA broke ninjas. Now, and I still look at this the same way, y'all. Fat Joe was just talking out his ass. Now, it appears he got the bag now, so he may be a little uppity. But now, he just need to check himself. For one, Puerto Ricans is definitely have a indigenous contingent of Puerto Ricans on the island that's with us, and really all Puerto Ricans. I ain't never hated on Puerto Rican people. Hell, I done been mistaken for Puerto Rican from time to time, but I say that to say, yeah, they part of them is us, but you do got them uppity ones, as with every group. And it's ironic that he talking bad about Tariq Nasheed when all he had to do was watch one of Tariq Nasheed DVDs, I believe Hidden Colors 2. And he probably already seen it, who knows, but that have gave him a better idea on where Tariq Nasheed head at when it comes to just identifying people, for better or for worse. You know, in his acknowledgement of all other people from all over. And I'm not for or against Tariq Nasheed. I definitely like them DVDs, that series or whatever. But again, this ain't about him. And that's what I mentioned before. FBA just pretty much means it's another word for black people, African American or Negro. And of course, I don't want to hear nobody in the comments. I know them are titles, I know them are brands. But again, people from that slave trade thing. And that's pretty much it. And I know it can appear divisive because you hear tether talk or whatever. But then, you know, it's not. And I don't want nobody to take it that way. And let's not make it divisive or allow it to be divisive. You know, because it's already been proven at the source who the original folk is. So that's what I make of that, y'all, that whole little thing. But yeah, he's just talking out his ass. And again, FBA ain't a title for black folks, so don't go out referring to folks as that. You understand? A lot of people don't even know what that is. That's